It is almost the end of 2020. It has been a wild year to say the least, and I wanted to share with you my 5 biggest lessons that I learned this year in my business and in my personal life. This year we have had a pandemic, we have had social uprisings in support of the Black Lives Matter movement, we've had an election in the US, we've had hurricanes and wildfires, and inside of our homes we have had massive transformation and shifts in our work lives, in our mental health, in our hearts. And whenever I go inwards and reflect on my last year, lessons just naturally start to pour out of me, especially after I've done the initial grieving and processing and feeling the feelings of it. Not to say that we need to always search for the lessons in hardship and in pain, and just as a caveat, if you are still processing and grieving, you don't need to go searching for the lessons and always have to just like seek for the better. You are allowed to feel your feelings. All right, let's get started. If we have never met before, my name is Becca Rich. I am a holistic time management coach. I am all about helping entrepreneurs spend their time and energy more intentionally so they can sustainably reach their goals without hustling, without burning themselves to the ground. It is all about time freedom here. So my first lesson of 2020 is that no matter how ready financially, mentally, emotionally you are, it is going to be terrifying to leave your safe 9 to 5. There is a wave of online entrepreneurs who are building their businesses from their cubes, just excited and hoping for the day that they can leave their 9 to 5s and create a business that is fulfilling and gives them freedom and flexibility. This year was the year that my husband and I had prepared to take a sabbatical, if you will, and move and travel around the world and spend time with family. And when COVID hit, obviously we were not able to backpack, but we still chose to give away the majority of the material things that we had and move to a family member's house and spend time with family and spend time resting and taking care of our health. But when it came down to the actual leaving, telling my employer that I was leaving, I was literally up all night, stressing out, freaking out. I cried a bunch. I couldn't think about anything else, and it was so scary. And so I just want to say that if you are an entrepreneur who is looking forward to leaving your 9 to 5 and that's all you can think about, the moment that it happens, it is still going to be terrifying. It is not all going to be rainbows and daisies, but from what I can tell, 6 months in, it is worth it. I have learned so much this year, and I have been able to take care of myself and not burn myself to the ground. Lesson number 2 of 2020 for me is that saying no or pruning things out of your life is really the key to managing our time. So I technically finished my time management coaching training in January of 2020, and everyone always says how important it is to say no to more things than you say yes to, so you're not stretched thin. But this was the year that I truly learned that, and maybe you did as well. When COVID really locked us down in the US in March, I was stripped of driving to my 9 to 5. I didn't have to teach yoga multiple times a week. Going out and hanging out with friends or eating out was not possible. Literally all I had was my 9 to 5, taking care of myself, and growing my business. So that was 3 main priorities that I had in my life. Everything else just vanished, like almost overnight. This allowed me to grow my business fairly fast while still being able to take care of myself, spend time with my husband, cook. I love cooking. I love cleaning, which I don't know if you love cleaning, but I do. And so this year was the year of learning how to actually say no, even though I didn't do it myself, something externally had to do it for me. I learned how important and true that lesson really is. Lesson number 3 of 2020 for me is that resting and feeling our feelings and being human is really hard. When you are working a 9 to 5, when you are starting a business that you are so passionate about, that you want to work in all of the time, and everything else to stay on top of, slowing down and resting is hard if it's even possible for you. For a lot of people, it isn't possible to stop working just to survive. When we are stuck in deep hustle culture mode, resting, feeling our feelings, being human is the first thing to go for me and probably for you as well. Before this year, I never used to rest, and that is 100% complete honesty with you. Even though I knew all of the science and facts that resting was going to make me more productive, intentional, happy, I still couldn't. And this year was the year that it really started to change, and it wasn't pretty in the beginning. In order for me to rest, I had to compassionately and sort of forcefully make myself rest. I had to make it a non-negotiable in my schedule, even if I was working on things. And I am fortunate and grateful to have a somatic therapist who is helping me slow down and do the resting and do it in a compassionate and gentle way with myself and process all of the feelings that come up when we start to slow down. And once I was able to rest a little bit more and let go of this like tight grip that I had around time and around getting things done, it really opened up my body, my heart, and creativity in a way that I've never been able to experience ever before. This year, I've been able to process COVID and all of the other things that are happening in the world around us, as well as when my grandma passed away in October, I was able to process those feelings and to slow down and to just put everything aside and feel. And this is such a privilege. Time, freedom, and flexibility, the thing that we are all, I think, after. It's really hard to actually make happen in our lives, and there's so many reasons why, and I kind of touched on it throughout this video, but my third lesson, just to recap, is that resting, no matter how much you know you're supposed to, it is still hard, and you need a lot of support to actually be able to enjoy the freedom and flexibility that you are craving. The fourth lesson of 2020 for me and my business is how important and 100% necessary it is to align your values with your business and in your actions in your day-to-day life. This year has been eye-opening for me on what my core values are and what I believe in and how I stand and show up in those values. I think as a society, we are slowly starting to realize that by not standing up for our values and talking through and actually communicating about these important issues that we're facing is actually preventing us from healing, from growing, from actually changing as a society. And so I did a lot of personal growth and exploration and going inward due to being able to rest and take care of myself properly. And then I was able to hire a business consultant who was able to bring my values and my personal being and my life into my business. And as you start and grow your business, you need to be clear about your personal values and how you are going to show up in those values in your business every single day. You want clients and you want to be able to support other businesses who support the same values as you do. That's what I personally want as well, and that is why I'm sharing my fifth lesson. Last but 100% not least, this is the biggest lesson that I have learned this year. I have learned how my privilege and my whiteness has advantaged me and my life and also contributes to oppression of other groups and communities of people. 2020 has been a year of racial reckoning in the United States and some would say the globe as well. And due to the social uprisings in support of the Black Lives Matter movement this year, I was able to confront my privilege in a deeper way than ever before, and I learned more about the oppressive laws, structures, and racist policies that our country still has in place and continues to approve that has done harm and continues to do harm against the BIPOC communities across our country. And as I continue to listen and learn from anti-racism educators and continue to listen to other people's experiences and process my own experience, I have been able to use my privilege and support and uplift the voices of Black entrepreneurs across the country. And I've been able to take all of this information that I have learned and process and continue to learn and process and apply it to how it impacts our ability to use our time, to achieve time freedom, to rest. So if you are listening to this and you have white privilege, you are a white person in the United States, please, 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 if you have any questions, reach out to me. We can talk more about this, start a dialogue, and start using your privilege, our privilege, to make this world truly free and equitable for everyone, because that's not the reality of this moment. Again, those were my 5 biggest lessons of 2020. If you want to share your biggest lessons in your business, in your life, I would love for you to share with me either below in the comments or email, reach out to me in any capacity. Thank you for watching my videos this year. Thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting me. I am so grateful for you and where you are and your experiences, and I cannot wait to see where 2021 takes you and all of us. And if you haven't checked it out already, I have a journal prompt video where I help you decompress and process what happened in the world around you and how to use all of that information moving forward into our next year, so we can make this next year a little bit more gentle, compassionate, impactful, and a positive direction.